Alrighty guys, starting off where we left off, we're going to go on to the adverbial prepositional phrases. Again, you have to now combine two of your skills, adverbs, to answer the questions how, when, where, and why, and then it has to be a preposition. So let's look at the example. Oscar is painting his house with the help of his friends. So our subject is Oscar. Our verb phrase is painting. What is he painting? His house. And then how is he doing it? So this is with our phrase, right? Because it tells us how, with the help of his friends. Now, if you go back up to the prepositions, with is a preposition. So that's why their phrase began with. Next one is an infinitive phrase. If you are in a foreign language, you know what these are. These are going to be a verb with the word to in front of them. And they can function as an adjective, adverb, or noun. So let's look at I'm not so much worried about these right now, but let's look at the example. To dance gracefully is my ambition. So what is our subject? What is the is referring to? What is it that you are doing? That is. And if you guess to dance gracefully, you're correct. This is where it's the subject of the sentence. So the verb is dance, the infinitive is to, and it refers to this verb my, or is. Okay? Next one right here. John went to college to study engineering. So subject is John, what John did, he went. Now, to college might make you think, oh, that could be the infinitive. Well, it's not, because to is serving as a preposition here because college is not a verb. But to study, now that's a verb, is where your infinitive phrase is going to be. Next one, appositive phrases. You use these all the time, you're just not aware that you use them. They are a phrase that refers back to the noun or pronoun before it. So let's look at the example. Oh yeah, and it's also non-essential. Oh yeah, when it adds, it's not always non-essential, but when it does add, you're going to use commas. If it doesn't, if you need that information there, then you're going to leave the commas. My teacher, a woman with curly hair, is very fat. So what is our verb? Is. What is it referring to? The teacher. And then a woman with curly hair is going to be the appositive phrase because it's modifying the teacher. Next one, Bowser, the dog with sharp teeth, is coming around the corner. Again, subject or verb is coming. So that's our verb phrase. Who's coming? It is Bowser. The dog with sharp teeth would be the appositive phrase. Okay, now we're going to look at participles and gerunds. I'm going to put them on the same page so you can look at them together. Okay, this is probably the most confusing part of phrases because participle phrases and gerunds, if they both end in ing, can be confusing. So let's start with the participle. It is when you use the verb form of a word, past or present, but it's acting like an adjective. So you're using a verb. It looks like a verb, but it's not a verb. It's serving like an adjective, so it has to be describing. So it looks like a verb that's describing something else. Okay? It's always going to end in ing, ed, or en. So let's look at the example here. Blinded by the light, Sarah walked into the concert hall. So where is our verb? Well, we have two verbs. We got blind, looks like two verbs. We got blinded and walked, right? So they're both look like verbs, but this is where the verb is doing the subject is doing the action. Sarah walked. Okay, so this one, it is a verb. Looks like a verb, but it's functioning like an adjective because remember, adjectives always are going to answer the how, the verb stuff. The how, what is it? How, what, and how, why, who, what, and why. That's what it is. Who, what, and why. So here, how did Sarah walk into the concert hall? She was blinded by the light. Next one. Swimming for her life, Joan crossed the English Channel. So the verb, we've got cross, but swimming is also a verb. And so who's doing the crossing? It is Joan. And how was she crossing the channel? She was doing it by swimming for her life. It describes how she's crossed the English Channel. So when you say swimming for her life, you can see her just going, swimming as fast as she possibly can. Now we go on to gerunds. Gerunds are going to look like a verb also, but they're always going to end in ing. So whereas the participle phrase ends in ed or ing, the gerund phrase is going to be a phrase that ends without or ends in the ing. All Alright, walking in the moonlight is a romantic way to end a date. The other difference is going to be that in a participle phrase, remember, it's going to be the verb acts like an adjective. This is where the verb is going to act like a noun. Remember, nouns are person, places, and things. So let's look at the example here. Walking in the moonlight is a romantic way to end the date. So where's our verb? We've got this, walking looks like a verb, and is the state of being verb. So what is the walking in the moonlight? So we got the ing, and it is the subject. Remember, it's the noun. So person, place, or thing. So doing this is a romantic way to end the date. Next one, he particularly enjoyed walking in the moonlight with his girlfriend. So what is our verbs? We got enjoyed and then walking. So here, particularly is serving as an adverb. Who is it that enjoyed it? He did. So this is our subject, this is our verb, and what did he enjoy? We've got a verb, it looks like a verb, that's ending in ing, but it's serving as the direct object. It's a noun, walking in the moonlight with his girlfriend. Okay? So these are, again, particular, and I'm not really so much interested in you knowing, like, the difference between, like, these different ones right now. Maybe later we will, but I just want you to know what a gerund looks like. The absolute phrase, last one. It consists of a noun or pronoun, an ing form of the verb, and any of its modifiers. And this one, I think, is kind of a confusing one, but it's going to end in ing or ed. So here, his head pounding, his head shaking, his heart filled with trepidation. So we got ing, ed. Next one, the two lovers walk through the garden, their faces reflecting the moonlight, their arms entwined about each other, and their footsteps echoing in the stillness of the night. So we got, here's the subject, we got the lovers, right? And what do? They walked. Where did they walk? Through the garden. So we got the phrase, their faces reflecting the moonlight, their arms entwined about each other, their footsteps echoing in the stillness of the night. So reflecting, entwined, echoing. So that's what makes it the absolute phrase. Anyways, guys, that was the end of the phrases that we'll be looking at this year. And I look forward to seeing you guys continue to improve your writing by using these phrases.